iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. McCole Hardman to return it from his end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. They'll take that 14 yards on play number 1. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
Love from the gun. That's complete. He finds Jaden Reed. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Nothing flashy there. The slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play. And you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch. And then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. In motion, the tight end. Throwing. Love. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
To the air again, Love. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Jacobs going to try the middle. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. They will run the draw with Jacobs. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a 1st down. They'll step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Switching things up, they'll throw it now with Jordan Love. Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs. And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. To throw now. Here's Love. This is caught. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Love looking to throw it. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. So no gain on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and goal situation. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Jacobs is in. Touchdown, Packers. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 right at the 30. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there, because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Looking to pass. Tua. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Packers are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this 1st quarter. To pass, here's Jordan Love. He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. Love now. Being chased out left. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
Here's Love. He finds his man, complete. That's Reed. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Love. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. They got to get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now Love. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move them back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. That's what counts more.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Again, it's Love. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
They'll swing this complete out to Hill.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Tyreek Hill's got another one. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Tua to Tyreek for the Miami first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
They'll run. Here's Devon Achane. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Rashawn Gary that time through the line and getting the tackle for loss. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw caught by Achane. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And some room to work. And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football. 2nd and 6. As they've got it as we resume action. And that one going to be off target and incomplete. The Packers on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he will have the 1st down here as he's up to the 15. That one goes for 8 yards.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Love. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Love, short throw. He's got Kraft. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Love. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
2nd down and 4. Back to throw. Love. Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Sims. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Now a 2nd and 2. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On third down, here comes Jacobs. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
Now McManus will line up for the field goal. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. Washington now brings this out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Miami's offense set and ready to go. They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10. Here's Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Making that play on the pass rush, that's Devontae Wyatt. Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
Short throw to Smith. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
3rd down and 10. Waddle, the motion man right. Tua going to throw. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And it'll be Packer football here, 1st down and 10. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead, but that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, but we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
After this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment. And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football, and that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Love. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Over the middle, complete. That's Hill. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
And the delay of game penalty makes this much more difficult. 3rd and 8.
Now they'll send Waddle in motion left.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa.
Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa.
They'll let this go deep for Waddle.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Washington's got it. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now
as he's on to punt for Miami. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Love and the Packers now with a 1st and 10
at the 20. Throwing. Love. And incomplete. A drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Here now, a 3rd down and 8.
Operating from the gun. Love.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. After the turnover, it's Tua.
He'll dump this off to Achane.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
From the gun, it's Tua. On target over the middle to Hill. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5.
They set up the screen. Achane has it.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. Sanders' kick is good, and they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Caught on the right side, Reed. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw now. Here's Love.
Short throw. He's got Kraft.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
3rd and 5.
Love looking to throw it.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Love now. Got Dobbs over the middle. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. The kick by McManus is good, and that will do it for this first half. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this 3rd quarter. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter.
And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done. And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Now 2nd and 3. Achane on the counter.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Tua. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now
as he's on to punt for Miami. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. 2nd down coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. To pass, here's Jordan Love. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
On play action. Love to throw. Same target. It's Jacobs again. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
3rd down and 6.
Play action this time with Love. On the move to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Love. He's got the hookup with Dobbs. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 38-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Play fake. Here's Love. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
Love. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Packers first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
So you think it's not tough playing quarterback in the NFL? How about what we just saw there? The rush got home on 3rd down. He had to stand in there and take the shot as he released it. Throws on target, though, and it's good enough to keep the drive moving.
Going on the ground with Jacobs.
56 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
From the 21, here's a 2nd down and 4.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
3rd down and 1.
Here's Jacobs. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Switching things up, they'll throw it now with Jordan Love. Now he's got it. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. A gain of 7 that time. Second and goal.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come.
Matt LaFleur loudly voicing his objections to that previous call. He's going to throw out the red challenge flag. The Packer offense and Jordan Love staying out there, so they're going to try to go for 2.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
Love throwing for it.
And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good.
As we've prepared for these games, we've noticed offensive coordinators have had an expanded playbook on 2-point conversion tries because they never know when they may have to use it during a game.
But that also means the defense probably has more for these situations too, right?
Oh, no doubt about it. I think for the most part, defenses will be aggressive on 2-point tries. They want to get after the offense and make them force the issue.
And here the defense wins. After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Dolphins ready to take over on offense. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10.
Right at the 30.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. He'll let this go deep for Waddle.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Here's Tua. Throw caught by Achane. Finding space at the 40.
And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
Slot man moves right. Play action. Now it's Tua.
He'll let this go deep for Waddle.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Up the middle, Achane.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua.
That is caught.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Tua going to throw. Short throw to Smith. And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20.
The Green Bay offense ready to take over.
And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
A short throw to Musgrave.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Looking deep here for Dobbs.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
That one is blown up by Jordan Brooks, the linebacker.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Throwing, Love. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Love.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. Now a carry for Jacobs. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
They'll come up 2nd and 7.
They will run the draw with Jacobs. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Well, this drive, they're 2 for 2 on third down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. Love, they go play action now. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, you and I have struggled with this for years. You've got the lead. Just take care of the football and burn some of that clock. But there's something to be said for not taking your foot off the gas as well, because you can never have too big of a cushion. That one, though, falls incomplete.
And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. They'll score that a 36-yard punt.
Dolphins offense returning to the field. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10.
At their own 17-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Washington. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa.
They set up the screen. Achane has it.
And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
This offense so far on 3rd down, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
In motion, Hill.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now,
standing just outside his own goal line. And it's fielded at the 34. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over.
The Packers ready to take over offensively. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10.
At their 38.
He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here's 2nd and 7.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48.
84 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
And Jacobs, I don't think is going to get there. No, it appears they're going to mark him short of the 1st.
This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Just 34 yards on the punt there. No return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And going deep for Hill. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami. 49 yards.
To get back in this ball game, big plays are going to be necessary. And here's one right on cue. Coming up with 3 scores here in the 4th is not going to be an easy task. But that's good work there to bite off a chunk of yards.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
Devontae Wyatt picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. His whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense isn't going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most is the loss.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the 1st down.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Great stop by Devontae Wyatt, breaking through the line and stopping it cold.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Looking to pass. Tua. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
So the incomplete pass there, but the roughing the passer call bails them out.
Which means you have to stay on the field on defense longer because you've given the offense free snaps, not to mention the free yardage after that mistake.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
Now a toss right side. HM with it.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys and continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami.
8 yards on the touchdown pass.
And the Dolphins are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept him out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on him. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Packers offense set to go. Now all of a sudden we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a two-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before. When you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay, it's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to fashion together a good drive right here and now.
Because defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. To throw now. Here's Love. Quick hitter here. It's complete. They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. And the tight end goes in motion left. To pass. Here's Jordan Love. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. Miami set to take over. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. Now they'll send Waddle in motion left. On play action, here's Tua. To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. Following the interception, Love. Short throw, he's got Kraft. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. The end result, 21 yards.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Here's Jacobs. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Love, this is 3rd and goal. Dancing to his left. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jordan Love, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Packers have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
Couldn't take the chance. This will be returned from the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
So now here come the Dolphins.
Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Devontae Wyatt able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught on the sideline. Are the feet in? They are. What a catch. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Tua sets up to pass it. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now Tua. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On play action, they'll throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now.
They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. That's Tua's running back, complete. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
But, Charles, a very simple mission anytime that you play on your home turf, and that is to defend your home turf, and today that mission was accomplished.
Look, every offseason, every preseason, the head coach goes in front of the team and says, the mission for the season, defend our home field every time, split on the road, and we'll be in the playoffs. That's why defending the home field is vital.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Packers are winners here as we say so long from Lambeau.